Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dad's Den. I'm Dad. This is my den. And I'm going to be doing a few videos showcasing some of the toys that survived my childhood. I wasn't one of those kids that tended to destroy his toys, but, I'm also old, so my childhood was a long time ago, and a lot of toys just didn't make it. Recently, we're cleaning out my parents' old house, found a few things. Thought it'd be fun to kind of look at these items and sort of look back and share some memories. So today we're going to be hitting Gobots Incognito. I'm talking transforming robots of three varieties that I had: the Gobots, the Transformers, and the Convertors. The Convertors, not to be forgotten. In later episodes of this series, we'll be looking at my old G.I. Joes and old Star Wars figures. But for now, we're talking robots. And so the transforming robot thing came to the U.S. from Japan in the early 80s. Essentially, Tonka in the United States got a license to use some transforming robot toys from Popey, which was I think part of Bandai at the time. They became the Gobots. Hasbro made a deal with Takara to get the Transformers, and there's a really kind of interesting story around the Transformers and how they came to be. The Converters were put out by Select Toys. And they were also from molds from Bandai. Gobots went up for sale in 83, Transformers 84, Converters 85. Obviously, we all know the big dogs here are the Transformers, and the Gobots were always sort of in second place. So let's take a look. We'll start with the few Gobots that I had that survived. Really two of them. I believe it was two, right? Yeah, two. Okay. So, I was never really into the Gobots, and truth be told, the whole transforming robot toy craze sort of came at the end of my childhood. So I wasn't, buying a lot of these things. But they were so damn cool, and I was a nerd. I couldn't resist. So I didn't get a lot of the Gobots. But I did get two later Gobots, and not surprisingly, both military vehicles, because I was a military vehicle guy from probably the age of, 5 or something. Loved Army men and all that stuff. So the first one, and this guy, unfortunately, not complete at this point. Bring him up here, is an Apache anti-tank helicopter. See if we can get a fairly good look at this guy. He is called Warpath. Missing the rotor blades. Not sure if I have the weapon he would have come with. He might not have even come with a weapon. But dude, look, come on. It's like this black Apache anti-tank helicopter. How do you not love this thing? Fairly easy to transform, which it seems like most of the Gobots were pretty easy to transform, which might have been part of their problem. Bump, that down, arms down, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, there we go. And we got Warpath. All right, cool toy, great design, and again, I was really too old for these things. But man, you could just kind of like chill out watching TV and just be kind of messing with these guys. Great play value to these things, and you got to hand it to the Japanese creativity. I mean, the things they come up with. The second one I had, also a military vehicle, Defendor, who is a Saladin tank. Again, let's see. I think he takes a little bit longer to transform. The head goes down like so. Body opens up. Actually, maybe it doesn't take that long after all. Got that. Push the feet in. Bump, bump. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't take that long to transform. I mean, look at this. Look at this tank. Holy. It's a gorgeous little toy. Really gorgeous little toy. And look, you've got these little things open up on the top. Oh, nice job, idiot. They apparently come off. So you know what? I have probably opened that thing 2 or 3 times in the last few days while I was prepping for this. Never did that come off. Now it comes off. You know what? Hey, live on camera. That is the intense excitement of these kind of toy videos. As I now ignore my audience so I can stare down. Okay, you know what? That's not... Oh, holy shit, I actually fixed it. Okay, hey, there we go. Look at that. Awesome toy. Defendor. The only 2 Gobots that I had in my collection when I was younger. Now, there is one more that I got recently. Kind of a Gobot. Kind of not a Gobot. You can see him back there. All right. So this dude... so he came from the same line of the Gobots, I believe from Bandai. Sold in Europe under the name Robo Machines. I think they sold them in the UK, in Germany, maybe France. He's a Toyota camper truck, essentially. Battery compartment. I believe he would light up and make sounds. So, very cool. He is in pretty good shape. I put some batteries in. Didn't get anything out of him. I might see about cleaning a little bit and see if I can get anything to work there. I don't want to go too far with that because, frankly, I'm not very good at that stuff. But, yeah, cool transformer. He has a winch. In fact, I think they called them like Robo Winch something. His name is escaping me. I was just reading about them. Got him in an auction. Whoa, hey, slow down, son. Got him in an auction. Cool toy. Happy I got him. He does transform. I'm not going to do it here because it takes a little bit of time to do it. But anyways, very cool. One of the Gobots, essentially, technically. We'll put him back here. God forbid if he falls off of there. All right, so Gobots. Didn't have a lot of Gobots. Cartoon was done by Hanna-Barbera. Wasn't that good. At the time, I don't know. This is like the kind of only perspective a child would have. The Transformers just seemed more serious. They seemed more adult than the Gobots did. The Gobots had some kind of funny names like Psykill. I appreciate that more now as an adult, I think, than I did as a kid. So I didn't have a lot of Gobots, just a few. I seem to remember getting those 2, Warpath and Defendor. I'm pointing to him, and you can't see him. And you can see the top of his head now. Hello. I feel like I got them at a grocery store toy aisle or something. I don't remember. But very cool toys. All right, 84, Transformers. Now, in 84 is when the Transformers cartoon and the Gobot cartoons both came out. Well, let's be honest, the Transformers 1, just plain cooler. They just were. Interesting story. The Transformers have an interesting lineage. Once upon a time, G.I. Joe goes to Japan. That sounds like the beginning of a story we don't really want to talk about here. We're talking about the G.I. Joe toy goes to Japan. Is produced by well, geez, I don't know. I was going to say Takara, but maybe it wasn't Takara. They take that toy, they turn it into a toy called the Henshin Cyborg. Essentially had some see-through parts, and I believe the idea was that you could dress them as different heroes. Henshin Cyborg gets miniaturized, becomes, I think they called them Micromen. In the U.S., they were sold by Mego as the Micronauts. They then made these transforming vehicles that the Micromen were going to be driving around in, and because the Micromen were supposed to be at scale. They were supposed to be these tiny robots who were doing their thing. They also made some household objects that could transform, that they could use. And these became the basis for the Autobots and the Decepticons. In Japan, they were not robots, like sentient robots with their own identities. They were just these robot vehicles that these Micromen could drive around in and do their stuff. And so they get licensed in the U.S., and they bring in Marvel Comics, and they create identities for these characters, and that's why we get Optimus Prime and Megatron and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, they were a phenomenon. They were awesome. They were amazing. And again, even though I was too damn old for them, I had to get a few of them. I got a few over the years. First one that I ever got was the classic Bumblebee. Yeah, I had the red Bumblebee, not the yellow Bumblebee. I don't care. I love him just the same. I can still remember getting this guy in my stocking for Christmas. There we go. This is a proper Bumblebee. He is a VW Beetle. Well, I don't think they actually say he's, but he's a VW Beetle. Not a sports car. Come on. I know. You guys like the movies. It's fine. You're wrong, but it's fine. So first one I ever had was Bumblebee. I had a couple other of the, I think they called them mini-bots. I got, maybe a year later, I got Sea Spray, the hovercraft. Always kind of dug him. He had the weird voice in the cartoon, like he was gargling. I'm not going to do that here. This guy came into my possession later on. He was from '87. My mother was a teacher, and teachers sometimes collect toys that are left behind by students and never claimed, or it was just maybe found, who knows. Nose cone was one of those, and my mother says, here, I know you like these things. I was definitely too old at that time, but I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. I'm not too proud. He was I think they called him a Technobot. This was stuff well after I was paying any attention to the Transformers, cartoons and toy lines, etc. But Nose Cone, he's cool. He's a drill. You never know when you're going to need one of those around. The last one that I have was called Top Spin. Can I get this guy back together? That's the question. Maybe not. He was... Oh, there we go. Okay, Top Spin. These guys were pretty cool. There was two of them. Also, Twin Twist. I am positive I had that one. I don't know what happened to it. Lost down the line. Now, the cool thing with these is they got these little wheels. You pull them back. You let them go. Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow, it's just like he's real, huh? You pull them back, and at the end of the run, bump, they would flip up, and they would become the robots. These kind of toys, let me tell you something. I want to defend my parents' generation, the boomers everybody likes to make fun of. No, I'm not a boomer. I'm a Gen Xer. Back in our day, houses were carpeted. They just were. The only rooms you probably had any kind of linoleum or tile in were going to be bathrooms and the kitchen. These kind of toys needed linoleum. So bathrooms not large enough. So we would tend to play with these things in the kitchen. And also, look, kitchens back in the day, a lot smaller than they are now. And so mom's trying to make dinner or whatever, and we're in there doing these. I also had these demolition derby cars. Oh, I wish I still had those. I had the Evil Knievel dragster. Yeah. we're in there trying to lure these things across the floor while Mom's trying to work. We drove her insane with this stuff, and Mom, thank you for putting up with us. But also, you did buy us the toys, and so it's a little bit your fault. 2 more Transformers, the bigger ones. What do we have? We have Bombshell, the Insecticon that turns into a beetle. I'm not going to do the full transformation. Man, the Insecticons and the Dinobots kind of came around about the same time. So cool. Couldn't resist them. This guy, his little flap doesn't want to stay. You know, come on, baby. Let's not be like that. You're a big boy. Keep that flap closed. Yeah, and you know, I mentioned that initially these were supposed to be like mecha that these Micromen would be supposedly driving around in, which makes me wonder if the point of these was it to be like a cockpit of some kind. I don't know. Maybe he just kept his lunch in there. But so Bombshell, one of the Insecticons, and who else do we have? But we got Sludge. We got the Brontosaurus. There's the Brontosaurus head. Okay, I am definitely not going to transform this guy because this is not one that was found when we were cleaning out my parents' house. This one moved with me as I got my own home and condo first and then a home. So this is one that I was showing my daughter at some point when she was little. She was very careful with it, but it's old and the plastic on the leg broke. I just recently re-glued it, so I don't really want to mess with it too much. I got the weapon still with this one. Again, Dinobots, very cool toys. A lot of fun. He also has like the little cockpit thing, which is kind of crazy. It would be on his back when he's in dinosaur form. Yeah, this is the only really large Transformer that I had. Again, I was too old for this nonsense, frankly, honestly. But I couldn't resist. Okay, and boy, if I'm lucky, he's not going to fall backwards because that leg is kind of loose where I had to glue it. It was a fun little project. Yeah, and so those are the Transformers that I had. Not a ton of them. All very cool. Again, not playing with these things, but you just kind of transform them back and forth, and I don't know. The design is so great. I mean, the Japanese are just absolute masters of toy design. Be it cutesy stuff, be it, rough and tumble, cool Gundam type stuff. Man, do they have a knack for this stuff. So glad that we got this stuff in the United States. But we're not done. So the Gobots, the Transformers, those were the 2 big dogs. Transformers being the bigger of the 2, in all honesty. But there were more. Now, I won't exactly call these knockoffs. These were licensed again from Japan. But they were kind of knockoffs. You primarily saw these again like in grocery store toy aisles, that kind of thing. But I dig them. These were the Convertors. Or Convertors. Let's bring up this first one. This is one of the, I think they were called Avarians. They were good guys. This one is Rex, the Eagle. You got the cool wings out here. The claws. Pretty easy transformation. That goes up. Now, the wings are supposed to fold all the way back, and they don't want to budge. So I'm not going to mess with them. The legs turn around. See if we can do that. There we go. And we got... I guess the arms pop out a little bit too. Now, Rex had a really cool sword, and I don't know whatever happened to that really cool sword. I'm sad to say. The sword is gone. But call it a knockoff. This dude's awesome. I mean, look at you got the chrome, you got the wings. They're kind of a little bit jagged. You got the talons on the feet and all of it. I think this is one of my favorites. I don't care if it was kind of cheap and it was kind of a knockoff. I'm pro Rex and I vote. The bad guys, they had a couple different groups of bad guys. One were based on insects, and thus we have Scorpio. All right, again, an easy transformation. These little legs have gotten really loose over the years, and don't know if you noticed it, but also somewhere along the line, I lost his tail stinger. The tip of that thing is gone. C'est la vie. All right, those go down. Feet fold down and out. And there we go. We got Scorpio. Again, pretty cool. Pretty cool design. You had the pinchers and everything. I like these dudes. But, you know, they were cheap. They were cheap. Like I said, I think I probably bought them at a grocery store. Last one to show off, another converter. This is a Toyota Hilux. Very simple, just like the little mini bots. And in fact, these molds were used for, I believe, some Transformers as well. There we go. Cool little wagon. Again, very easy transformation. Bump, bump, bump. Well, so I say. Doing great with on-screen shenanigans today. So cool die-cast car. Here we go. Yeah, now they gave him the extremely creative name of Wagon. Wagon. So, poor Wagon. Didn't get something cool. So that's it, folks. The Transformers toys of my childhood. Let's bum bum bum. There we go. There's a whole bunch of them. Fun toys, well-designed toys, excellent concept, a lot of play value in these things as action figures, as toy vehicles. You had the cartoons to go with them to help fire the imagination. And I know people, oh, these cartoons are just there to sell toys to kids. Oh, well, God forbid. Isn't that horrible that you put some really cool toys in front of kids? It's like this idea that just because a kid sees it in an advertisement, he's going to buy it, even if he doesn't like it or doesn't think it's cool. Of course, it doesn't work that way. I mean, maybe a little bit that way. But your toy line won't last if you're not making something cool. And all of these are cool. A really nice partnership between Japan and the United States. They invented the things. They came over here. They got some cool identities, which then, in many cases, went back to Japan so they can enjoy that stuff too. So there we go. Robots in disguise. I hope everybody enjoyed this little walk down memory lane for me. I will have some more videos coming out with my old G.I. Joes, with my old Star Wars figures and some of the vehicles. I'd never... Look, in the 70s, money was tight. We didn't have a ton. But I had some cool stuff. I was super happy. Love you, Mom and Dad, for everything you did for us. So with that, if you enjoy these videos at all, please subscribe. If you thought this was groovy, go ahead and gently tickle that like button. You know, you don't have to smash it. Come on, you don't want to break your computer. Just give it a gentle touch. But I appreciate subscriptions. I appreciate the likes, and I will see you soon. And now I have to try to reach around here so I can turn off my camera and not knock over all of these robots. See you soon. God bless. Have fun. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.